That is the best way to find your client. If you're a network marketer and you're struggling to get clients and you just don't know what to do, this video is the one that you don't want to skip. I'm going to be going over the secrets on what my client personally did to go from 0 to 185,000 in commissions billable in less than a year. When I talk about my client who was able to go from 0 to 185, what did they do differently? Well, their story was they were in the welding world, right? They were working with their hands. I don't come from that background, but people in the welding world, he understood that they don't necessarily have a strong financial background. They don't necessarily have any RSP set up. They don't necessarily have any history with some sort of finances set up. So what is the number one thing that he could do to provide to his community? This individual started actually at the peak of the pandemic that we had about 2 years ago. So how did they go from 0 to 185? Well, it's simple. They looked at where they could find their clients without being in front of their clients. And today, that's social media. The problem with this, though, is most people on social media experience anywhere between 5, 10, 15, 20 spam messages per day asking them to invest in Bitcoin, asking them to invest in this scam. And you get mixed in with that crowd. So how do you stand out? Well, number one, you don't look at Instagram and you don't look at Facebook. I said it, you only look at places where your clientele would be more intrigued to hear you out. So what is the platform for that? Well, it's LinkedIn. So once you get to LinkedIn, you look for people with similar stories to you. My client, again, like I mentioned earlier, was a welder. So what is his ideal clientele? Well, simple, welders. At first, he thought it was individuals in their early 20s to late 30s, and that's the people he would try to connect to. However, he spoke that language, but it just wasn't as fluent as the welder's language. It wasn't as strong as the welder's language. So instead, when I started working with this client, we ended up targeting more welders in Canada. Once we started targeting welders in Canada, we worked on the pitch that we have because the pitch is absolutely everything. If you go in telling them about your product, telling them about how great you are, how fantastic you are, and how much money you could save them, one, it's gonna look like a scam. Two, the number one thing they're gonna think of is, why do I care? If you're so good at your product, why are you messaging me to begin with? And three, you never develop a strong foundation. So what are the things you can do now that you found your niche market? Now you found where you can target class customers. What is the number one thing that you can do next? The number one thing you can do next really is to build a relationship. How do you build a relationship with these people on social media? Simple, like their stuff, comment, post about them, ask them about what they do on a day-to-day basis because they most likely have day jobs. Ask them how their day job's going and slowly start to integrate yourself in the conversation. Ask about things that lead towards what you do in your business, whether you're in, again, Thrive, WFG, Primerica, whatever service you offer through network marketing. That is the best way to find your client, message your client, build rapport with your client, and get them to sign up with you through your network marketing business. Again, there are a few other caveats in between that you need to obviously master other than just going on LinkedIn, adding everyone that you know, that you think you know, that you could probably relate to, and then messaging them. There's other things that you need to do. If you guys want to get more help on this, send me an email below, and I'll be more than willing to work with you and your team on how to establish a strong foundation in reaching out to clients over LinkedIn. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one.